Patsy Matsu Takemoto was born in 1927 on the island of Maui in Hawaii. Maui was a land of sunshine, white sand beaches, and warm trade winds. But though the island was beautiful, its people were going through a difficult time. In 1898, the United States annexed Hawaii. This meant that the U.S. government stole control of the islands from the Hawaiian people and declared Hawaii a U.S. territory. This was a dark time for many native Hawaiians who lost their homeland to incoming mainland Americans. Additionally, because Hawaii was just a territory and not yet a state, the U.S. offered Hawaii citizens very few protections or rights, and the people of Hawaii had little control over governing their own lives or what was happening in their communities. At the time, the U.S. government saw the islands as a place they could use for their own benefit, without thinking about the people who lived there. The government set up a military base on Oahu called Pearl Harbor and, through taxes, made money off the island's businesses, especially the booming business of growing sugar. Like many people of Japanese descent in Hawaii, Patsy grew up on a sugar plantation. For most plantation workers, mostly Native Hawaiians at first, and later, in Patsy's time, Asian immigrants, this was a difficult life of endless, grueling work in the fields. But Patsy's childhood was different. She was lucky. Many of the other kids her age had parents who'd just arrived in Hawaii from Japan, but Patsy's parents had grown up in Hawaii. Because of this, Patsy's dad spoke English natively, so he was hired as a civil engineer for the plantation instead of a field worker. This led to more money and less backbreaking labor for his family. Patsy grew up in a comfortable cottage surrounded by palm trees, sugarcane, and dirt roads. Some days, she would play with the pigs, chickens, rabbits, and turkeys. Other days, she would spend time at the nearby beach searching for seashells. On the very best days, she would play with her brother Eugene. Just a year older, he was Patsy's best friend, and together they would run, explore, and venture into the nearby mountains to pick mushrooms or bamboo. Although Patsy grew up in a time when girls were often expected to stay home while boys played outside, her family always treated her and her brother as equals. Eugene included her in football and baseball games, and her parents encouraged her to follow her dreams. And Patsy was certainly a dreamer. It didn't take long before she found her first dream. When she was 4, she woke up to a sharp pain in her stomach, and when her parents rushed her to the hospital, the family doctor realized she needed emergency surgery to remove her appendix. That must have been scary for 4-year-old Patsy. But her doctor comforted her, and the surgery helped Patsy feel better. From that point on, she looked up to her family physician. He had saved her, and perhaps even better, he had shown her that saving other people was possible. Though she'd never seen a female doctor, she knew she wanted to be one. She wanted to comfort, care for, and heal others. She was lucky to have a family who let her dream, but when Patsy reached 4th grade, the prejudices of the outside world began to press in on her happy childhood. Patsy and Eugene had been doing so well in school that their parents decided to move them to a well-regarded school called Kaunoa English Standard School. The students there needed to pass an English grammar test in order to go to the school, so most Native Hawaiian and Asian kids, who often spoke English as a second language and didn't have formal training, were rejected. Because of this, 95% of the students at Patsy's new school were white. The teachers were all white, and Patsy felt like an outsider.